Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Cyrus Davis, and today I have a very special video for you. A tabletop game between myself and my friend Callie Moore of the 2014 Worlds format. That's Next Destinies through Flashfire. This is one of my favorite formats and one of the first formats where I was actually playing semi-competitively. I didn't go to a ton of tournaments back then, but I played, that's when I started playing like actual real decks. I will be on the left playing possibly my favorite deck of all time, Yveltal Garbodor, and Callie is on the right playing Aromatisse Mega Kangaskhan. So the Yveltal Garbodor list is my personal list. The Aromatisse Kangaskhan list is the list that made top 4 at Worlds, although I'm fairly happy with it. I don't think I would change much. Looks like I got to win the flip here, so I'm going first. We can play supporters going first in this format, so I go ahead and N, which forces both players to shuffle their hands to their deck and draw the number of prize cards remaining, sort of similar to Iono, but not quite. And then I find Yveltal, Darkrai, and Yveltal-EX off of the N, and a Floatstone, and I Floatstone the Trubbish, retreat to the baby Yveltal, and pass it over to Callie. Suicune has the Safeguard ability similar to the Mimikyu in our current standard format that prevents it from being damaged by Pokemon EX, so I am bringing up that Yveltal, getting ready to hit into the Suicune with a non-EX Pokemon. Baby Yveltal is a very strong early game attacker. For 1 energy, it does 30 and allows me to accelerate more Dark Energy from my discard pile to my bench Pokemon, allowing me to set up my Pokemon while chipping away at Callie's. Looks like Callie finds a pretty strong start herself with Spritzee, Baby Xerneas, and a Kangaskhan-EX. Gonna just go ahead and attach to that Kangaskhan. Finds a Mewtwo as well, which can be a great counter to my Yveltals if they get too many energy on them. But then it's just going to pass it over. She also found a tool removal card for my Floatstone on Trubbish, but I find another one, so I just attach that before I play my Juniper. And then I go ahead and use Oblivion Wing to do a little bit of damage to this Suicune and set up my Yveltal. Callie uses low wall to find her Aromatisse. Puts a Muscle Band on her Mega Kangaskhan, and then evolves into Mega Kangaskhan, which ends her turn. Mega Kangaskhan is a very interesting Pokemon. Does 100 damage plus 30 for each consecutive heads that you flip. Probably the best attack of all time that does 100, flip a coin until you get tails and does more damage for each heads. And of course, Mega Kangaskhan has 230 HP, so it is very easy to keep it alive for a long time, especially with cards like Max Potion, which completely heal all the damage off of it. Basically, the way this Aromatisse deck works is that Aromatisse can move your fairy energy around your board however you'd like. So Callie is able to take a big hit with Mega Kangaskhan, move all the energy off of it, Max Potion all of the damage off, and then move that energy right back onto Kangaskhan, since Max Potion requires you to discard all energy from Pokemon that you heal from. But you can use Max Potion on a Pokemon that doesn't have any energy on it yet. On my turn, I do manage to find a Lysandre and a double colorless energy, so I just go ahead and pull up the Kangaskhan and swing into it. I want to get the jump on it before Callie can get too much of a board set up. And then Callie goes ahead and finds a Colress for 8, shuffles her into her deck and draws a number of bench Pokemon, which in this case allows her to find a fresh 8 cards. So a huge draw for Callie. We'll see if she finds... Maybe, I don't know even what she's necessarily looking for here. A Max Potion would probably be good for that Kangaskhan. Maybe a double colorless energy. You could swing into my Yveltal with Mewtwo, but it looks like she doesn't find an energy at all. So she's going to retreat into the Xerneas for free with that Fairy Guard Stadium, and then can move that energy onto Xerneas and use Geomancy to allow her to accelerate some more fairy energy from her deck onto her board. On my turn, I just go ahead and use... It looked like I just... I think I'm just thinking here. I have Juniper, I have N. I'm just debating if I really want to use this N. Using 2 N's already this early in the game doesn't feel great, because you'd rather save those for later to disrupt your opponent's hand. Especially because it's looking like Callie might be able to take a prize lead here. This Xerneas is pretty tough for my Yveltal to deal with. Doesn't have a lot of energy on it, has a decent amount of HP, and is resistant to dark. So I'm sort of trying to figure out how I'm going to deal with this Xerneas and try not to get too ahead on prize cards, because then the ends will hurt me more than they'll hurt Callie later on, which is not what Yveltal Garb wants to be doing. Looks like I have to go for a Y-Cyclone to soften up the Xerneas to get it ready to be knocked out. move an energy to my Darkrai. That way, the Mewtwo-EX's X-Ball will not do as much damage to my Yveltal, so it does 20 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. So I'm just trying to play around X-Ball, taking a big knockout on my Yveltal. Look at Callie does find a Max Potion on the Kangaskhan and then attaches a double Colress energy to it. So it's set up to attack now if she would like to. And then goes ahead and plays another Colress. I honestly might not even use the Colress here. There's not a lot that Callie actually needs this turn. So playing Colress sort of takes one powerful draw support out of her deck in the case of me using something like N. But maybe she is trying to look for like a Lysandre for next turn or more Max Potions. Looks like she just goes for the Wham Bam Punch with Kangaskhan. Does not get the multiple heads in a row to take the big knockout on Yveltal. So I get to go ahead. I evolve my Trubbish into Garbodor. I attach a Dark Energy to Yveltal. And then I'm just going to Y-Cyclone again. Put 90 on... Oh, it looks like... Okay, I decided to Evil Ball instead. So Evil Ball is going to do 140 to the Mega Kangaskhan here, which sets it up to be in range of Darkrai's Night Spear, because it's 90 to the active, 30 to the bench. So I think that is what I'm eyeing up here. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just hit for 140 and then try to finish it off with Night Spear, since I haven't found another Yveltal yet. Callie goes and puts a Muscle Band on one of the Mewtwo's. I wonder what she's going to knock out my Yveltal with here, because I assume she's going to do that. But none of these options are too great. I mean, she could go for maybe a Xerneas attack even, but that's just going to die to Darkrai. Obviously, he doesn't really want to attack the Mega Kangaskhan since it's in range of Night Spear knockout. Does find a Startling Megaphone, so that'll give her the versatility to attack with it, whatever she wants. Allows her to remove my tool. See, she's debating the Megaphone. Yeah, there it is. And then going to retreat to Mewtwo. The one without the Muscle Band doesn't want to put the Muscle Band into danger. And then going to go ahead and move 2 energy. 1 off the Kangaskhan and 1 off the Suicune to my Mewtwo and take a knockout on the Yveltal. Leaving 1 of the Fairy Energy on the Mewtwo with the Muscle Band makes sense, because if I respond with a Yveltal knockout, she'll want to find another tool for Garbodor. She might not be able to move those energy around later. But it looks like I just go for Juniper here. I get another energy on my Darkrai, so I can Night Spear if I want to. I'm sort of debating what I want to do here. I think... Looks like I'm deciding if I want to Junk Hunt. Because that could get me a Float Stone back. To Ability Lock with Garbodor, but it also gives up a Single Prizer without doing any damage, which isn't ideal either. Oh, okay, the energy on the Darkrai I think was a Dark Patch, not a Attach Return. So because I Attach Return to the Yveltal here. So look, I'm setting up to use... I haven't found another Yveltal-EX yet, which is what I would like to be attacking with, for sure. But because I don't find it, I'm just going to set up towards Baby Yveltal using Darkness Blade, which can be a decent attack in and of itself, especially on a 1-prizer. And then I just go ahead and Night Spear for 110. Put 30 on the Mewtwo on the bench. Night Spear for 110 sets up some pressure here. It means that I can probably, if I want to, knock out Callie with Oblivion Wing and Hypnotic Laser next turn if she leaves this Mewtwo in. If she retreats it, I could be taking an easy knockout on the other Mewtwo-EX with an Yveltal. If she attacks with Mega Kangaskhan, Night Spear can kill it. She doesn't really have anything that can easily knock out my Darkrai. She could go for like multiple head flips on Kangaskhan, but that's obviously not super reliable. So I've sort of put her in a position where she doesn't have any really like great attackers. I'm most likely going to be able to knock out pretty easily whatever she brings up pretty efficiently. This Darkrai having resistance to Psychic as well, also keeping it relatively safe here from a big X-Ball knockout. And even if Callie did get the big X-Ball knockout, it wouldn't be necessarily ideal because she'd have to put all of her energy in one basket, per se. And then I could go for like N plus Ability Lock in response. And a knockout with Yveltal-EX, if I can find a Dark Patch. My hand's looking fairly dead here, to be honest. Mostly just energy. So it looks like some energy, Sableye, Muscle Band, Laser. Not even any basic dark energy, I don't think. I think she has a Rainbow Energy. I'm sort of debating if she wants to attack with Suicune, maybe. That way I can't attack her with Darkrai. But then Darkness Blade from Yveltal would still not be great for her. I could also Ability Lock through the Suicune and still Night Spear. But looks like she's going to go for the 2-shot on the Darkrai. Just hits it with the Muscle Banded Mewtwo. And what do I find here? So I'm going to retreat into the baby Yveltal. I did have double colorless energy in hand, so I could Darkness Blade here. But it looks like I just Oblivion Wing. I just do 30 damage. This way, it's set up for the Darkness Blade knockout next turn. The Yveltal doesn't have too many energy on it, so it's not easy for her to knock it out with X-Ball. I don't have a lot else going on, so that's sort of my best line here. But she's able to Lysandre up that Darkrai, go down to 2 prize cards. So now I'm sort of in hot water. It looks like a top deck N here, which is great. So now I can go double colorless energy. Looks like I go for the Laser on the Mewtwo. We should have 60 on it. So Laser will make Darkness Blade enough damage to knock it out after Poison. And I'm just going to end Callie to 2, and I'm still going to get a fresh 6, because this is going to be my first knockout. I do find an Yveltal-EX here, and a Muscle Band, and a Floatstone for my Garbodor, so this is pretty good situation. I knock Callie out with a 1-prizer, I end her down to 2 cards in hand, and I Ability Lock her, and I have an Yveltal getting ready for next turn. And she does not have great answers to knock out this Yveltal, especially without being able to move her Fairy Energy around. She might not even have another energy to attack with this Mewtwo here. And the Kangaskhan would still need to flip heads on Wham Bam Punch in order to knock out the Yveltal. And if it gets tails, then I can just return knockout. I can knock out with Darkness Blade. I believe I got heads on my Darkness Blade flip, which if it gets tails, I can't attack with it twice in a row. But with heads, I can go ahead and Darkness Blade again next turn if I want to. Looks like she debates benching the Xerneas-EX, decides against it. Alright, so she just says retreat into the Xerneas, still is free retreat with the Fairy Garden. And now I have a chance to maybe make a comeback here. I Laser. I still don't quite have the knockout because the Xerneas is resistant to Dark. I would like to use Oblivion Wing here, ideally. That way I can get a Dark Energy onto my bench Yveltal-EX. So right now I am doing 30 damage. The Xerneas already has 70 on it, so that is 100. So I do need something like a Burbank City Gym would push this damage up high enough that I can take a knockout. It looks like I just find the Colress. I go for Colress for 6. Attach double colorless energy in my Yveltal. And then I'm going to play an Ultra Ball to thin my hand down so that I can use Bicycle. I did have 2 Bicycles in my hand. Unfortunately, I couldn't thin my hand in any way that would allow me to use both of them. At least not without discarding that Lysandre, which is not what I wanted to do. But I do get another Yveltal-EX down here, and then I'm just going to go for the Oblivion Wing, I assume. Not quite the knockout, but Callie is asleep, so it might be stuck there. Callie also didn't have an attachment for turn last turn, so even if she wakes up, which she did, she probably still doesn't have a way to retreat the Xerneas without tool removal or Fairy Energy. But it looks like she does find Professor Sycamore here off the top, so might be able to find a something like a Tool Scrapper or Startling Megaphone now. I think the list only plays 2 Tool Scrapper and 1 Startling Megaphone, so her Startling Megaphone is already gone. This kind of works out alright for me anyways. I don't necessarily want to take a 1-prize knockout here. I'd really like to take 2 2-prize knockouts in a row. Okay, Callie finds a computer search, so I'm going to search for any card she wants. I have to assume this is going to be maybe the Tool Scrapper. And my hand's pretty good here. I mean, if she takes a 1-prize knockout, I have the end to 1. I have a Lysandre, so I can go ahead and pull up that Mewtwo or the Kangaskhan. and knock it out with Darkness Blade next turn if she doesn't knock out the Yveltal. So if she knocks out the Yveltal, I'm probably just going to go end of 1, try to find a tool for ability lock, and take a knockout with Yveltal-EX. If she doesn't take a knockout here, then I can just Lysandre and get ahead that way. Yeah, so it does computer search for the Tool Scrapper. You're going to take the Muscle Band off my Yveltal-EX and the Float Stone off my Garbodor. I now can move her Fairy Energy around freely with Aromatisse. Retreats the Mewtwo. Has a double Colress Energy. Gonna Max Potion first, though. Max Potions fully heals the Yveltal. Test double Colress Energy. And then needs to move one more Fairy Energy onto the Mewtwo in order to take the knockout here. Or no, doesn't need to because of the Muscle Band. I find the Verbank City Gym here, finally, get the Fairy Garden out of the way. Looks like I decided to just attach a Dark Energy here. I'm doing 140 right now, so I just need a Hypnotic Laser to do enough damage to knock out. And then I get to end Callie down to 1 card in hand. I find a Bicycle, but no Laser yet. I do have another Bicycle, though. I Ultra Ball away Trubbish double Colorless Energy just to thin my hand and my deck. And then I assume I'm going to bench the Sableye and then Bicycle for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's the Laser. So, bam, Laser. Yveltal takes the knockout. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 more prize cards. And now things are looking a lot better for me. We went from a 4 prize deficit, and then with the power of N and Garbotoxin, have brought that back up to a 2-to-1 prize cards. And Callie has only 1 card in hand. It does have ability as online, but no Fairy Garden, so it does not have free retreat. Just brings up the Suicune to try to maybe stall a little bit. But if I have a Lysandre next turn, I can just Lysandre up the Mega Kangaskhan. And I have a decent amount of cards in hand. And not a lot of... I think I have like 5 cards in hand, 5 cards in deck. So she decides to just go for the Mega Kangaskhan and try to take the one-shot on my Yveltal, but she does not get enough heads to get the knockout, so I can just Evil Ball, return knockout the Mega Kangaskhan. And I show her that even if she didn't retreat into the Kangaskhan and go for the knockout, I would have had the Lysandre to get around the Suicune and take my last 2 prize cards. So we managed to pull it back from the 2 to 6 prize lead that Callie had. To take the game with Yveltal Garbodor. That's what makes Yveltal so strong. It just can make such big comebacks as long as you play intricately, you place damage on the right Pokemon, and apply pressure at the right times. I hope you enjoyed this retro format game. I will hope that Callie and I can maybe play some more in the future, or maybe next time I'm at an event I can get some other friends in on it. Let me know if you like this kind of content, if you want to see more retro gameplay. Because I love playing retro, and I would love to feature more of that kind of content on my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.